Okay, we're getting a leverage flush out, or we're getting a dip before the FOMC meeting, which happens a bit later on today. You can see the altcoins are taking a lot of pain. Bitcoin taking pain as well, not as much pain. I mean, we were at 108,000, almost pushing for 109,000. We went down earlier on to about as low as 103,000, and that's all because the FOMC meeting is coming up later. The market is getting nervous. I'm not nervous, and I'll show you why I'm not nervous. I'll also show you why I know it doesn't really feel like it, but actually, the real alt season may actually start today. I know it doesn't feel like it. I know when you're looking at the bubbles now, you're like, come on, bro, don't tell me it's alt seasons. Bitcoin goes up, altcoin go down. Bitcoin goes sideways, altcoins go down. Bitcoin goes down, altcoins go down. But the real alt season may actually start today, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. And then we're going to talk about two altcoins. One of them, which you may be able to make 200% in a week. Yeah, you heard that right. You may be able to make 200% returns in a week. This is not clickbait. You'll see it in a second. So, FOMC day, let's go. Guys, what do we think of the new merch? What do we think of today's merch? Today's merch is the dog with a hat. The dog with hat. Let me know if you guys want some of this merch. Let me know if you guys want some of this merch. If there's enough demand, if anyone wants a dog with a hat, let me know. Let me know in the chat. Otherwise, we've got a big show today. I want to talk to you about this, what they call the pre-FOMC jitters. I'm going to show you an altcoin where you can make 200% return. I'm going to show you a trade that I'm lining up to take today. And then later on today, we're going to be live trading the FOMC. We're going to be live here, well, not here, on Crypto Live, the new channel. There's a link below, by the way. Let me just show you where the link is. The new channel. Okay, so you go to the bottom of the show, and there is a link. There should be a link to the new show later, right? Here we go. Let's move it up to the top because that's like the most important thing. So that's for the show later. Don't go there now. Go there later. All right, let's talk about what's going on. But before we do, you need to do one thing. I need to do one thing. You need to do one thing. I need to bring you alpha. You need to smash the like button. Subscribe. We'll do another day. Today, we're just worried about getting the likes up. We need to obliterate the like button. I'm going to give you a lot of alpha, and I'm going to come back later and bring you even more alpha. So let us look at what is going on. Let's look at what's going on, because it feels like, I mean, you know, the irony is that when you, last week, we were trading at like under $100,000. And that was like, wow, we're trading at like $100,000. Now, when we pull back from 108,000 to 104,000, it almost feels like you're in the middle of like a brutal correction. This is not unusual. We are having the pre-FOMC flush out, the pre-FOMC jitters. Happens every single FOMC meeting. I see that the Bitcoin hit like $103,000. Altcoins are very red. In fact, it's been a brutal week for the altcoins. Let's just see 𝗥𝗪𝗏. I did say I wanted to short it at 28. If you would have shorted it when I told you to short it, you would have actually landed up making money. I mean, this shakeout landed up liquidating about $409 million. So almost $500 million liquidated. Not a big number relative to the big flash outs that we've had, but still doing damage. Remember, the leverage is actually quite low. So I was quite surprised that we got $500 million in flash outs. The Bitcoin dominance now inside the channel. So not good for altcoins. So right now the dominance inside the channel. And if you look at total 3, which is the altcoins excluding the top 10 altcoins, excluding Bitcoin and ETH, you've got that which was breaking out yesterday, now back under the trend line. I'm not really worried. I'll show you in a second why I'm not worried. The main reason why I'm not actually worried is because of what 𝗥𝗪𝗏 says. He's right. There's always a de-risking dip before the CPI numbers in the FOMC. But some people choose to FUD the hell out of it. Actually, I looked at this a bit more in detail, and you can see that specifically the last two FOMCs, we had like a 5% and a 9% correction in Bitcoin. Both of these were actually rate cuts. And actually on both the rate cuts, the market actually rallied after the rate cut. So you can see that happened. Same thing over here. You can see if you look at the previous FOMCs, every time we get into the FOMCs, the Bitcoin price goes down, the markets get stressed. After the last two, which have both been rate cuts, we've had a rally into straight after the FOMC. So I think this is a pre-FOMC jitters. You can see that right now the prediction is that we're going to get, you can't see anything because the site is so slow to load, but we will load it again. And then you'll see that right now it seems that we're going to get a rate cut. I mean, there's a 98.8% chance of getting a rate cut. But that's not actually what we're worried about. Just to stick to the old patterns, every time we got a rate cut, the last 2 times that we have a rate cut, we then rally after the FOMC. So we'll rally after the FOMC. So let's hope this time is no different. But I think what we need to look at is what's actually going on here today. So this is a good tweet, which I read, which basically summarizes it. So the baseline expectation is that we're going to get a 25% basis point rate cut. We saw that. Obviously, if we don't get a rate cut, markets are going to go down. If we get a 50 basis point rate hike, then a rate cut, then the markets are going to rally extremely hard. But I think let's just stick to the basis expectations for now. The main thing that we're going to look at is that since the Fed's previous rate cut, which is in the last meeting, we've had inflation actually spike up again. And inflation is the one reason why the Fed may not be able to continue to cut rates. They were expecting 2.6%, and we actually went up to 2.7%. So inflation is actually starting to spike up. And of course, the job metrics and the growth metrics are very, very firm. That is not what we are looking for today. The most important thing we're looking for today is what the Fed's expectations are for the end of next year. So the question is, how many rate cuts will the Fed forecast for next year? That comes in this thing called the dot plot. You remember what the dot plot looks like? It is where all the members of the Fed committee vote to where they see the rates at the end of 2025. Now, the bullish case here, or as he says here, the neutral case is 3 rate cuts. So if we get 3 rate cuts in 2025, or if the consensus is 3 rate cuts in 2025, then market is great. That's the neutral thing. If there's 4 rate cuts in 2025, which I think we could get a surprise, and the reason why I think we could get a surprise is I think there's this thing called Trump syndrome. Trump syndrome is making everybody a little bit more dovish, a little bit more bullish. So we may get that. Or if they say no cut, or the dots show less than 3 rate cuts in 2025, then all hell breaks loose. Then there's a big problem. So what are we looking for tonight? We're looking to see what the rate cut is, but much more importantly, what are we looking for? We're looking for the dot plot. And if the dot plot says that the majority of people are looking for 3 or more rate cuts, then I think we're very, very good. So as he says, dovish market reaction, solid rally, new highs likely. Cyclicals lead, financials, industrial, small caps, 10-year yield drops below 4.3. And of course, the DXY actually goes down. Neutral, Fed cuts by 25 basis points. Dot shows 3 rate cuts in 2025. So that is effectively what we're looking for tonight. We'll be here. Well, not here. We'll be on Crypto Live. We'll be covering it live. We'll actually be trading it live. We'll actually be just having some fun, taking some leverage trades, just for the fun of things. Meantime, the altcoin, the ETF inflows continue to be aggressive. There's another $500 million which flowed in yesterday. That's on Bitcoin. ETH yesterday, another $144 million. So right now, for now, the inflow continues to flow. The market continues to be healthy. This is just a normal leverage shakeout. For a normal pre-FOMC shakeout. For altcoins, it might actually be a much more important and much more exciting FOMC than we actually think. Because, believe it or not, this FOMC meeting could be the beginning of the real altcoin season. Now, I know it doesn't feel like it. I know when you look at the altcoin bubble, you're thinking to yourself, what is he talking about? Like, alts have been down only for the last week. Down only. Why is he talking about altcoin season? So the reason why I'm talking to you about altcoin season specifically today around the FOMC meeting is because if you go and study when altcoin seasons really start, actually the altcoin seasons are a function of liquidity around the world. And so what happens is when the US government or the Fed specifically go into a quantitative easing phase, when I say a quantitative easing phase, quantitative easing means, number one, when they cut interest rates, we're already in that. But when they start increasing their balance sheet, in other words, buying assets on the market to put more cash in the market, that is how the Fed injects liquidity into the markets. And if you study this, what you'll see is that in March 2020, what the Fed actually did was the Fed actually made an announcement that they were going on to massive quantitative easing and increasing their balance sheet. And so what happened there was, that is when the real altcoin season actually started. Now, you ask yourself, okay, well, what happens when they do the opposite, right? So when they do the opposite is, when they started to do the opposite was here at this FOMC meeting here, which was November 2021. So wait, no, it wasn't November 2021. It was May. And in May, they made an announcement that they're going to start tightening the balance sheet, plans for reducing the size of the Federal Reserve balance sheet. And so when they decided to tighten the balance sheet, that is when they start selling their treasury holdings. And that means that they sell them, they put treasuries into the market, and they take cash out of the market. And so what you'll realize is that tonight, we could actually get an announcement from the Fed. To be honest, I don't really believe that the Fed's going to do it tonight. I think it's probably going to be more around January, but we've got to keep our eyes open and our ears peeled for this thing. Because if Powell says that the Fed has decided to start quantitative easing, or to start buying treasuries on the open market and putting cash into the market, then I think the whole market sentiment changes. As I say, to be honest, I don't think that's going to happen tonight. It could happen tonight. I think it's more likely to happen on the 29th of Jan or the 19th of March. But we've got to be ready for everything. And if it does happen tonight, then what you do know is that that's usually the beginning of the altcoin seasons. So we need to be wide awake. We need to be wide awake for tonight. So and we will be here, and we will be with you. Are you guys selecting boxes over there? Let me select my box. Let's do today box 2. Okay, let's see. Okay, box 2, box 3 is the one. Okay, keep selecting your boxes. We're gonna draw the lucky box later. Let's talk a little bit about altcoins. Specifically, I want to talk about 2 altcoins where there's good opportunities. The one altcoin is one that we spoke about yesterday. It's Pengu. So remember yesterday we spoke about Pengu. Told you guys, I mean, there's some arsehole who went and bought this coin at $1.4 trillion market cap. I mean, crazy. Anyway, long story short, price is coming down slightly, which may actually give us a trade very, very, very soon. Reason why I say there may be a trade. You remember that this token was airdropped to people, right? And generally, when tokens get airdropped to people, generally you get a whole lot of holders, because a whole lot of holders actually got them. And in this case, it was a lot of Solana users, and it was a big airdrop to a lot of people. And what happens is when people get these airdrops, they usually start selling the airdrop. So what's the alpha here? The alpha here is to watch the claim portal and to look at how much of the airdrop has actually been claimed. Now, usually when we get 80% of the airdrop claimed, that means that usually these tokens actually start running. So what happens is people claim their airdrops. Some people decide to keep it. Some people decide to sell it. Some people go, I've made so much money, I want to get out of it. It's a $2.8 billion valuation. Others say they want to hold it. We separate the diamond hands from the paper hands. And then what happens is usually after an 80% claim, the price actually starts going up. And so I looked at some of the other airdrops that were actually done. You can kind of see. So like this is 𝗏𝗏. I mean, if you look at any airdrop pattern, it's the same. It launches, it spikes up, which is exactly what happened over here. Launched, spiked up, and then the airdrop holders started to dump their airdrops. Once the airdrop holders were out, which here happened in about a day, it started running up. I'll give you some more examples. This is the Pyth network. This one took a little bit longer for the airdrop people to get out. Once the airdrop people got out, bang, the token went up 400%. Here's another one, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, huge spike up, as you can see. 2.5 days, 5 days for the airdrop people to get out, and then bang, we got a spike. So this is something. If you understand this pattern and you understand the psychology behind this pattern, the fact that people are always going to start selling free money, and very, very, very seldom are they going to hold free money. What you kind of know is that they're going to dump. There's going to be a whole lot of airdrop dumpers. They're going to dump their tokens, and then they're going to start buying them up. And so, look, I think I jumped the gun a little bit. Don't do what I did. I need I mean, you can see I bought it on $5,000 down, but I'm going to start building a position. I see I've taken a very, very, very small position here. I'm going to start building a position in Pengu in about, my indicator is I'm looking at June and I'm looking at the amount claimed. When 80% is claimed, that is when I'm going to start going a little bit more aggressive in. When 90% is claimed, if 90% get claimed, I'm going to go a lot more into the position. So that is what it is. The other one that, as I said, probably the other opportunity around Pengu is actually to look at the penguins, because remember that the floor price has actually dropped quite a bit now. I think the floor price now is 18 ETH. The floor price was 32 ETH before the airdrop, and these guys got a handsome airdrop. The thing that most people are overlooking is that the Penguins NFT, or the Penguins community, or what do they call themselves? The Huddle, the Penguin Huddle. They are launching a chain. So there's the NFT project, then there's the meme coin, which is Pengu, and then there's the chain. And the chain is called Abstract Chain. And I think that launches in Jan or Feb next year. And I think that anyone that's holding Pengu or anyone that's holding a penguin will actually get an airdrop in the chain. Now, look, the meme coin's obviously got great appeal and it's amazing. But I think the real value comes in the layer 2 chain that they're going to be launching, which I think it's if I'm not mistaken, it's an 𝗏𝗏2 or it's an L2 chain. Yeah, I don't remember the exact technicals. I'll get you guys the exact technicals. But I think there's a massive opportunity here in buying the penguins now when the price is a little bit flooded. Even though I think yesterday it actually went down to, let's just have a look here. It went down to 16 ETH. So if you can afford a penguin, and I'm not, remember, NFTs are a little bit illiquid. They are a little bit illiquid. That is actually quite a big opportunity, is to buy the penguin for the abstract airdrop, because everyone's flooded them and basically traded out of them. So 2 opportunities when it comes to Pengu. One is wait for the airdrop claim to go, and maybe we'll follow the same trajectory as every other airdrop token that's ever happened. Second one, buy the actual NFTs. If you want another airdrop, there is another airdrop. The airdrop is for 𝗦𝗚𝗡. 𝗦𝗚𝗡 is a meme coin which is going to live on Metis. Now, in order to get this airdrop, you just have to go and do a whole lot of things. So there's a link below. Let's just quickly see. Did we put a link below? If you guys want to do it, it's free. You don't have to pay anything. There it is. You just press interact with 𝗦𝗚𝗡. Go to these things. Just do whatever you need to do here, whatever you can do here. If you've signed up with a banter link on Bybit, you may actually get a whole lot more 𝗦𝗚𝗡. Again, it's a free airdrop. There's nothing. You just have to do these things, and then you'll get yourself a free airdrop on this 𝗦𝗚𝗡. 𝗦𝗚𝗡 is a meme coin on the Metis chain. Metis chain is an L2 on ETH, for those of you who don't know. And again, you don't have to do anything. You just have to you don't have to pay anything. You just have to do a couple of things. There's a link below if you want to get another free airdrop. I figure airdrop season is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. Airdrop season is upon us. All right, I want to show you a token where you can make 200%. You can make 200%. It's going to sound a little bit complicated at the onset, but you can actually make 200%. But before I do that, I think should we do the boxes now quickly? Oh, the boxes. Do we even have boxes here? Okay, no, we'll do it at the end of the show. I think let's talk about the token where you guys can actually make, I think you can make around 200%. And I want to show you, it'll initially sound a little bit more complicated, but it's actually not as complicated as it sounds. And I actually want to show you what it's about. So here's the thesis. The thesis is that we all know this chain called Beam, right? We've all been trading Beam. Beam is a gaming chain. Now, this chain is, in my mind, one of the most interesting, most exciting gaming chains out there. It's been one of the plays that we've been calling here since, I think, 12 cents or 13 cents. 1.2 cents or 1.3 cents. And what is it? It is a gaming chain, which is a subnet of Avalanche. So it's a gaming chain, which is a subnet of Avalanche. But what's happened recently is that Avalanche has actually had a network upgrade. They call this the Avalanche 9000 upgrade. And I don't know if there's music. So basically they've done this upgrade on Avalanche, and what this Avalanche allows chains to do is to actually become their own layer ones. Now, for simplicity's sake, I'm going to dumb it down, and I'm going to say to you that the difference between a subnet and an L1 actually is that an L1 has their own validators, right? It has their own set of validators that confirm transactions. And what this Avalanche upgrade allows people to do is to use the Avalanche tech stack and to actually launch their own layer one. But to have a layer one, you have to have validators that validate or confirm your transactions, right? And in order to get validators, you basically have to have nodes, right? So that's basically how it works. And so what Beam is doing something very, very novel. They are launching, or they have launched, a node sale. So what is the node sale? Full disclosure, they're not actually selling nodes. They're just selling node tokens, okay? And what are these node tokens? So let's actually go through it. So as I said, the Beam network is an L1, which is an ecosystem. So this is the Beam network. And what they're doing now is they're doing a node sale, which allows you to buy a node token, which will allow you to run a node. And if you want to run a validator, you got to stake at least one node and 20,000 Beam. Otherwise, you can just buy the nodes and you don't have to run the validator. You can let somebody else do it for you. The novel thing that these guys have done is they've said, look, usually you buy, when you buy nodes, you basically give the project money and the project keeps the money in the treasury. This one's slightly different. And the reason why this one's slightly different is because when you buy a Beam node, that money actually goes to the Beam Foundation, right? But the Beam Foundation is so well funded. They've got about $250 million in assets at the moment that all they're doing with this money is they're buying the nodes, you buying the nodes, they take the money from you buying the nodes, and they use that money to buy back Beam and burn Beam off the market. And so Beam has always been a deflationary token. As you can see that the supply of Beam gets burnt anyway, but now what they're doing is they're actually burning a lot more Beam. So what's the play here? Why am I excited about this play? So this is the map of the nodes. And as you can see, let me just refresh this now. This is, okay, so the node, right now they've sold 14,468 nodes and they've raised $18 million, which means that they're going to take the $18 million and they're going to buy back Beam and burn Beam on the open market. Now, here's where it gets a little bit exciting. If you look at the price of the nodes, okay, or of these node tokens. So for the first week, the price of the node tokens is $1,250, right? So the fee in Beam, ETH, or AVAX will be fixed at an equal to the value of $1,250 in Beam, ETH, or AVAX respectively for week 1, which is phase 1. Phase 2, between week 1 and the Horizon upgrade date, the nodes go up to $3,750. So what's the play here? We know that the nodes are going to get more expensive, number one. Or not. Like maybe this week there'll be a lot of demand, and next week there'll be zero demand. But for now, you can buy a node or a node token for $1,250. And theoretically, if anybody lands up buying these things at $3,750 next week, then the price of the nodes goes up to $3,750. Let's assume that, for example, you buy this node for $1,250 and the price next week people don't buy for $3,750. Then what happens? Well, then what happens is pretty interesting because Beam are so well capitalized and they've got such an amazing treasury of such a lot of tokens. In fact, I think I actually had a list of some of the tokens that they've actually got in the treasury. Let's just see where it is. So they've got, let's see if I've got that over here. I'll try and find it first. But they've got a whole lot of actual tokens in their treasury. And what they're saying is that these tokens in the treasury, they'll actually then distribute amongst the node holders, which is, they've got, let's just find the list of tokens that they have. Okay, so the validator incentives grants by Beam Foundation from its treasury, which will include tokens such as ATH, ZENT, Saga, TON, and many more. So what they're saying is, similar to the primary rewards means the rewards that the validators actually get for validating transaction, the secondary rewards will flow autonomously to the validators and delegators. 80% of the secondary rewards will flow to validators and delegators staking nodes, and 20% will go to the secondary rewards will flow to the validators and delegators staking Beam, right? So if you're staking these nodes, if you buy the node token, you also get 80% of the treasury, which is made up of all these and a whole lot more that actually starts happening. Let's see if we click on treasury and we can actually see. So that's the value of the treasury. There's $228 million currently in the treasury. So what do I think the play is? The play is that you go to this thing over here. Where is it here? You go to the nodes.onbeam.com. you click on this, and you get yourself a whole lot of you connect your wallet and you buy a whole lot of these node tokens. That will give you the right to run a validator node if you want to run a validator. If you don't want to run a validator, it's fine. Just buy the node token and delegate it to somebody else, and they can actually, and you'll just keep getting the rewards. Now, the node tokens are actually transferable, which means that you buy them now and you can actually transfer them whenever you want. So, look, full disclosure, I'm taking quite a position here because I'm quite bullish on Beam, and I think that this is a way for them to get really decentralized, because now you've got a whole lot of these node validators, these node operators, which will become validators in time. And that will decentralize the network a whole lot more. And then they're going to have a very decentralized L1 with these node holders. So that is how I think you can make quite a big return. You know, on paper, you can make a 200% return in a week. I don't really believe that, because I kind of think that this is a bit of a marketing ploy to get people to buy early, and it almost anchors the price. But I do think that there is value in these Beam validator nodes, and I do know that their token treasury is 228 million, and they keep getting a whole lot more grants. So let's just see if they, so this is the initial token mint that you can have here. Let's just see what they say here. Introducing Beam nodes, yes, we know about that. To start, mint a node token, 1,250 during week 1, and then 3,750 in week 2. Validators and delegators earn 2 types of rewards. Primary reward, gas fees, that's the transaction fees. Secondary rewards, protocol fees from Beam Swap, Beam Bridge, validator incentive grants like 𝗤𝗥𝗬𝗣𝗧, and 𝗕𝗢𝗥𝗙𝗢𝗙. After the Horizon upgrade, you'll need at least 20,000 Beam, which is about $6,000, and 1 node token. And there's a hardware requirement. If you want to run a node, I'm not going to run any of the nodes. I'm going to delegate my node to start earning node to somebody else, and I'm basically just going to get the value. So if you do believe in Beam, this is not something that I normally do, but I do actually really believe in this protocol. So for me, this is a great way to earn from the protocol, and so this is something that I'm actually going to be doing. All right, what else is there today? How many of you tried Silent Swap yesterday? I tried it actually, to be honest, to see what a privacy transaction looks like. It's pretty cool. You really can set the level of your privacy, which is like again, I really believe in private transactions. For me, privacy is one of those things that makes me really uncomfortable with blockchain. The reason why I say that is, like, if you think about going to buy a cup of coffee or going to buy anything with crypto, or even just paying a buddy of yours, you pay your buddy with crypto. Next thing, he's got access to your wallet. He then tracks every single wallet that you've ever interacted with, because you always have to fund your wallets. It's like, is that what blockchain is about? That everyone that I interact with must know exactly what I've eaten for breakfast and what tokens I've bought. I mean, I'm quite embarrassed by some of the meme coins that I bought. I don't want people to know about some of the meme coins that I bought. I mean, it's embarrassing. They may have respect for me in the beginning, and then the thing is, when they see some of the shit that I bought, they're like, we thought he was a respectable guy, but he's been buying smoking chicken fish and a whole lot of other stuff. So for me, privacy transactions are quite important. And Silent Swap, as I said yesterday, is very one of the best use cases that I've actually seen in privacy transactions. Alrighty, let's do some giveaways. So today's account number, remember, to get into this giveaway, sign up for Bybit, BitGet, or Blowfin. Bybit, BitGet, Blowfin. Bybit, you get huge sign-up bonuses and $50 just for signing up. Blowfin, there is 0 KYC, and BitGet, $30,000. We'll get your user IDs. We'll do this, and we will highlight that number over there. So today's winner, well, let's just highlight it. So today's winner, if you are account number 354-403-39722, and you are on BitGet. So again, let me just repeat that and put it on the screen for you guys. 354-403-9722 on the screen. On BitGet, you are the winner. But the question is, what did you actually win? Do I have to put on this hat? Oh, for God's sake. I think it's so cheesy that you guys make me put this hat on. Like, I'm all cool for this promotion, but the hat thing is a bit cheesy, to be honest. Okay, what's the box that the people chose?
Number 3.
Box number 3 is the one they chose. So if you are this account number on thingy, and so do you get box number 1? You don't get box number 1 because you get box number 3. In box number 1, we have that could have made your Christmas, right? $30,000. $30,000, but you don't get that box. What box is it? Oh, this one's got shit in it again. Yesterday they put. Wait, no, this is not. This is not fair. What you guys do? Like, is this like condoms and shit again?
Why not?
Okay, so you don't get box number 2. Box number 2's got shit in it. What is this? Actually, you can't even see it. It's like a shot of green absinthe. Okay, we're not having that. And a bro, come on, bro, a bra. Okay, you don't get that box, luckily. But the box that you do get, if you are that person, is $5. You get $5. 5,000. Oh, I thought it was going to be 50,000. You get $5,000. So, if you are this account number on BitGet, you get $5,000. You got to email giveaways@cryptobanter.com in the next 24 hours from that email address if you actually want to win. I will see you guys again later. Someone says, I don't want the giveaway. I want to know about Gummy, Baked, and 𝗥𝗘𝗦. If you want to know about 𝗥𝗘𝗦, you need to listen to yesterday's show because we covered that. And Baked and Gummy will do spaces next week. Who else here? I wanted the Bitcoin bra. All right, we'll sign up to Bybit, 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗧𝗢. Phantom, the upgrade is flying. I see a lot of stuff about Sonic. I actually haven't looked at the price of Phantom. Let's look at the price of Phantom. Price of Phantom is 123.45. Okay. Altcoins are taking pain. Altcoins really are taking pain. Let's see who's here. I lost money. Send some. But where must I send it to? I don't know where to send it to. You can't just say send money, not send an address. Classic Ron moment. Who else is here? Baked update will come next week, guys. Baked update will come next week. When is the FOMC meeting? The FOMC meeting is tonight. It is in about... We'll be here in about 4 hours. We'll be back here in about 4 hours. All right, I'll see you guys again in 4 hours. I'm going to have a couple of drinks. It's a festive season over here. I'm going to have some drinks. I'll see you guys again in 4 hours. Until then, trade well, my friends. Remember, whoa. Remember, we are on Crypto Live, and the link for Crypto Live is below. That's where we're going to be there tonight. See you later. Until then, trade well, my friends.